We're very privileged this morning to have in the studio with us the 3 Corps Commanding General and USF-I Deputy Commanding General for Operations, Lieutenant General Robert Cohn. Sir, good morning and welcome to Freedom Radio. Thank you very much for being here.
Good morning to you, and it's great to be here.
I am so very glad to have the opportunity to speak with you, sir. We have opportunities occasionally to speak with the USF-I spokesperson, Major General Stephen Lanza, and we feel that that's a great opportunity for him to be able to share his perspective with our listening audience, and we're glad to have that opportunity today for you to share your perspective. So I know that with your job, you have plenty of opportunities to get out and see the great things done by USF-I members every single day, and you travel a lot around Iraq. Overall, what would you say is your impression of how things are going out there, sir?
Yeah, I think this is an incredibly complex and important mission. And a lot of times when I'm out there and I see young soldiers executing, you just couldn't be prouder of the way they go about their business as young professionals, but really understanding the importance of the mission now. It's really not about us. It's about the Iraqis. It's about making sure that the Iraqis can accomplish this mission when we're gone. And so when you really think about it, I often ask myself, what does this lead to? And if you're doing something for an Iraqi, the question you have to ask yourself is, are they really learning? Are they any better? So I think that the ability to sort of put the Iraqis out front and make them successful and making them learn is what's going to lead to success in this mission. Because I'll tell you, as of today, we're down to about 64,500 soldiers in this theater, and we will be down to 50,000 by the 1st of September. So we have about 660,000 Iraqi security forces that we need to be behind coaching, teaching, and mentoring and making sure that they're successful.
Sir, a lot of us here have been on multiple tours in Iraq. I myself was here about 5 years ago, and I was extremely surprised at how different things are now than when I left at the beginning of 2006. What would you say are some of the key differences between the mission even 2 years ago to now?
Well, I think it's clearly the role of the Iraqis. With the security agreement, we put them in the lead, and we became secondary here in regard to advising, assisting, and providing force protection for people like the PRT, et cetera. So the mission has, again, our goal is to leave this as a sovereign, functional democracy that is a strategic partner for the United States. And so much of what we do today is really in that final stretch of making sure the Iraqis are ready when we go. The security environment, I could tell you just overall, I mean, you can't compare it to what it was years ago. And just in terms of the magnitude of violence, we have about 15 attacks across Iraq on any given day. And you could look at any major U.S. city and sort of make an argument in terms of the level of violence. Unfortunately, Iraqis and some of our soldiers are still dying and being wounded. But the fact is that this security is being provided today largely through the efforts of the Iraqis. And that's what we have to be ready for, is that we can leave and this country can continue on into the future.
As we see sort of the transition and the forming of the new government in Iraq, what do you say are the real keys to long-term future here?
Well, I think the notion is a representative democracy. The Iraqis came out and voted really in an unprecedented manner, not only for their nation. It has been almost 50 years since we saw a voter turnout in the United States of 62.4%, which is the number of Iraqis that actually turned out. So a lot of Iraqis participated in the democracy. And now what the Iraqis want is a government that is in fact fully representative of their votes. And what we're hoping for, and again, this is an Iraqi issue and we're clearly on the sidelines, but if the new government fully represents everyone from the Sunnis to the Sadrists to the Shia and represents the views of the people of Iraq, we believe that they will settle their differences through the democratic process and not take up arms and violence.
Sir, you said something very key there. As we're on the sidelines watching and sort of helping the Iraqis to facilitate this, I think that's an important perspective for the members of U.S. forces to illustrate the real difference in the mission now. As we work toward the beginning of New Dawn, what are some of the things that you'd like to share with soldiers in sort of a parting thought?
Well, I think, sometimes when I'm talking to young soldiers, I get, actually, someone will actually say they're they're disappointed in what they're doing here, and that's a startling revelation. Because all they need to do is ask their sergeants and some of their officers who were here during the surge and understand the level of violence that existed then, and understand that the peace that we're experiencing today in Iraq has been paid for in blood of our brothers. Some 4,400 Americans have given their life in the past to have this peaceful environment. So the mission we're asking them to do today, may not be as glamorous in the minds of young and inexperienced soldiers, but the fact of it is equally important. It requires tremendous precision, it requires tremendous discipline, and it requires tremendous commitment to the overall mission. And again, putting the Iraqis out front, coaching and teaching can sometimes be frustrating. It can sometimes oftentimes in this part of the world, the shortest distance between 2 points is not necessarily a straight line. But having the patience to continue to make good comments, good corrections, provide good advice, and then watching your Iraqi counterparts grow over time is really an important dimension to this mission. The other piece that I can't say enough about is really the success we've had in the drawdown, and to say that many say that this is the largest movement of men and materiel because of the condensed time frame that we're doing it in since World War II. And again, to go from where we were on the 5th of June when the decision was made to execute the final part of the drawdown, and then to make 50,000 has required a Herculean effort on the part of our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines across the battle space. And again, we recognize that up in the head shed. I mean, everybody is appreciative of just how much is being done every day out in the field by our soldiers, and how many tasks that we give them to do, and how successful they've been. And so, a great kudos to really the leaders at every level, and in particular the Joes down there that basically make things happen every day.
Sir, these are all incredible messages, I think, for all the members of our audience to hear, and I genuinely appreciate you taking the time to come here and share that with us and with them. I really do. And I understand that you have picked out a song to play for all the soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines out there to sort of honor them this morning.
Yeah, I do. It's actually, as a commanding general of Fort Hood, many people know that we had a very unfortunate shooting in November. And as we were trying to think about ways to help the community recover, we wanted to do a concert, and actually one of my favorite bands is the Zac Brown Band, and we were fortunate enough to get the Zac Brown Band to come to Fort Hood. They have since come to Iraq, and they've done a music video of the soldiers in Iraq, and if you haven't seen it, I think it's the #2 country music video in the United States today, and it's dedicated to the soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines here in Iraq. So Free is the song I picked for today.
Sir, thank you again for being here, the Commanding General of 3rd Corps and the USF-I Deputy Commanding General for Operations, General Robert Cone. Zac Brown Band on the station just for you.
We live out in our old van, travel.